WNYWaterCooler.com.
No! No! I'll kill shit! Yes! Yes! What are you doing, bro? Let's go, Bill! Throw it! Throw it! Throw it! Yeah! 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 Goddamn right! Yeah! What are you doing, bro? You guys know this guy? Yeah! You know this guy? Yeah! He's on the whole call! Yes,
Welcome back, WNYWaterCooler.com podcast. We are on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. I'm Steve, that's host.
Last week I said I didn't know we were on Spotify, and then I had a few people reach out to me and say they've been listening on Spotify all season, so I guess I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm in the podcast sphere. It's only been 15 years I sort of learned how to do it, you know. Can we...
Yeah, well, it disappeared from, it's not on the Apple app anymore, so then I was just listening on YouTube.
I think the RSN feed... Well, I'm not getting into it. Can we take anything out of this game other than, like, Rex Ryan and Saleh hate each other?
Might be the first time I have ever agreed with Rex Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, he went over the top with what he was saying about the guy, but he was right. Like, I wouldn't compare this guy when he was at the Niners or with the Jets compared to Rex Ryan. But no one did make that comparison, I don't think. So.
Well, I mean, you have, I don't even know how it, came up. Did someone compare the two? Is that what started it? Did someone compare him to Rex Ryan?
Someone must have, but it's just Rex Ryan. He has to spew off. Well, he's always on TV or the radio or something.
Yeah, because, I don't know. I mean, we played them last year, and we embarrassed them. And then I heard the PFF, or whoever showed me, the analytics guy, saying that, based on our, advanced stats, the Niners had, actually had a good defense last year. What is it talking about? So, I don't know. I wasn't impressed at all. We could do anything we want. I mean, we were 20.
Yeah, I mean, and they get trounced by the Patriots. The Jets are just a joke. I mean, their franchise is just... I mean, yeah, they had some injuries, but they still had most of their weapons on offense that they went into the season with. I mean, Mike White didn't play any worse than the rookie did.
I don't understand how the Jets beat the Titans or the Bengals, and I also don't understand how Mike White threw for 400 yards against an NFL team.
Well, I don't understand how we... The only thing I'm thinking about the whole game is how did we score 6 points against the Jags? That game is going to haunt us all year if the Patriots keep rattling off W's.
The Jaguars game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel better than last week just because I felt like Dable actually
tried
different things, which was... You were right last week. Maybe he will make adjustments. I'm not sold, but I'm definitely more. Each week that has gone by, I've been more and more concerned about New England.
Yeah, they're rattling off wins now. I mean, these teams they're beating are pretty good. I mean, Cleveland. I mean, Baker Mayfield is shot. His arm, he can't move his left arm. Their running back, one of their running backs is out, or both of them were out, and. I mean, it's the Browns. They're not going to go into Foxborough and win a game.
Yeah, but it's just the way that they beat them. I mean, yeah, like you said, they had injuries. Chubb out, Mayfield. He's not good to begin with, even when he's healthy, let alone half at his half capabilities. But 45-7 or something. I mean, I don't know I didn't. Yeah, 45-7. I wasn't expecting that. I thought it'd be a low-scoring game. I thought that the Browns' defense would at least show up, but that didn't really happen. The Patriots ran it down their throats.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the game, but I saw it was 7-7, and then Baker throws a pick. The guy returns it to the 2. Like I say every week, Patriots defense scores a touchdown, and that just rattles these teams.
The Patriots had 34 carries for 184 yards in the game. So, and everyone, Mac Jones, all the Mac Jones talk, which makes me sick. I mean, he might be decent, but he threw 23 passes, and they ran 34 times. That's a 60%, run to pass ratio. So they're not relying on him to do a ton. So I don't know. I've heard enough of that already.
Well, that Monday night game is just it's building bigger and bigger now. I mean, it's just gonna be. I don't know. I'm gonna be nervous. I'm actually gonna be nervous for a game, other than maybe the Ravens game last year, but it's gonna be a weird game leading up to it.
Yeah, I mean a lot. We have. What do we have? We have 2 games before that only.
Yeah, we
Coming
have.
up fast.
Yeah, I mean Thanksgiving's already next week, so yeah,
Yeah.
we have
So
extra time to prepare.
we have 2 games that will probably be favored by a touchdown, and then New England has Atlanta. I think they're favored by 5 or 6, right? And then they have Tennessee, which that'll be an interesting one.
Yeah, well that is going to be that'll be interesting, and I mean that game and the Bills game. If the Patriots win both those games, oh my God,
I think
I might quit.
I still think that if we split with New England, I think we'll win the division. I think that we just generally have more talent. I think we have. I mean, our schedule is not as easy now, but I just can't see New England going. If we split with New England, are we really going to lose 3 other games?
Well,
I don't think if we split with them. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they do go 11-6. I have no idea now. I don't know. I wasn't expecting them to look this good.
I don't think really anyone was, especially when they were 2-4.
And almost lost to Houston.
Yeah, I
But
I like by the time most people listen to stuff, they'll already have played the Falcons, but I could see the Falcons doing something against them, but maybe not. I hate the Patriots. It's just sickening. It makes me sick that they're even relevant already. Again, I don't know. I don't know what it is. This quarterback. Oh, he was the 4th quarterback taken. He fell right to him. Why did he fall right to him? Why didn't someone else try and take this guy? He was NFL ready. I mean, he's probably at his ceiling or close to it, but it's just sickening.
I mean, okay. I guess if you have Bill Belichick and you're going to have a good defense, a good running game, and you need to plug in a game manager, then yeah, take him. But if you have a team that you're looking for a higher ceiling, I mean, you're not drafting Mac Jones in the top 5.
Yeah,
Man.
the Niners. He basically he's basically Garoppolo Jr.
You can't judge these quarterbacks after he's played 9 games or 10 games. Look at all the you can't get away 3, 4, 5 years before you start judging these quarterbacks. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot besides. I mean, there's got to be more people than just me out there who are now well, is Josh Allen better than Patrick Mahomes, or you can't just.
That's just you.
After one season, you can't be sure that oh yeah, the Niners should have definitely taken Mac Jones over Trey Lance. Let's chill a little bit, wait 2 years and Trey Lance is tearing it up. I mean, the talent disparity between these 2 guys is not even close. And yeah, Mac Jones played in big games in college. He might be more ready to manage a game right now. But I just don't think you're drafting a guy super high in the draft to be a game manager as a rookie.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking the Niners yet for taking Trey Lance over Mac Jones, but or some other.
Justin Fields and Zach Wilson. I don't know, rough start for him, but it's also so much of circumstance.
Yeah, I mean, going to the Patriots where it's you're expected to win and the whole franchise knows how to win, or the Lions or Bears or Dolphins or Jets. I mean, those franchises are just poverty franchises.
So I don't know. Like I just don't think there's many teams in the NFL that are currently equipped for a guy like Mac Jones to like succeed. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
So
7-point favorites on the road. They are against the Falcons this week. That's a big line.
it's a big line. Yeah. Like I mean, Atlanta's won some games this season, but everyone loves the Pats now. So
And
I
the
mean, they got
Jet,
a couple blowouts in a row. I think Carolina they beat pretty comfortably on the road. And,
yeah, P.J. Walker
yeah, exactly.
and half an arm Baker Mayfield, but or one. I
Yeah.
guess he has one arm, not half an arm, but yeah. Now the Jets they benched Mike White after we embarrassed him. Like Mike White should have never left that Thursday night game 2 weeks ago, and now Flacco's going to play for them. I mean the Jets. That if I was Saleh, I would have never taken that job ever.
Is Zach Wilson? I thought he was like close to playing last week.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't dressed. I mean, if I'm the Jets, I'm not in a hurry to throw that guy back out there. At least wait for Mekhi Becton to get back, their left tackle. But
Yeah,
uh,
I wouldn't be in a hurry either. And now the Mike White performance actually is probably a good thing for them because I'm sure there were some Jets fans that were, Mike White's still a young guy. Like, oh, maybe we lucked into like Kurt Warner. No.
well, yeah. I mean, then again, I mean, well, the game was at home. Yeah, like, maybe the Bills' defense is really good. We still just play almost no one ever. The schedule Colts this week 7-point favorites. Uh, I mean the Colts. I don't know, they got swept by the Titans. They played well against us last year, but it's Carson Wentz. I can't have any faith in Carson Wentz.
Do you do you want to hear the Colts drives against Jacksonville last week? I
Yeah.
thought this was pretty interesting. So the Colts won 23-17 against Jacksonville. They had their total yards in the game 295. That was worse than we. That was fewer yards than we had. They had 15 first downs, fewer first downs than we had. Their drives. They started out with a field goal, then had a blocked punt touchdown, and then had a touchdown. Those are their first three scores. So they're up 17-zip. Their next drive, the rest of the game, punt, 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 field goal, punt, 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 field goal, end of game. And the yardage on these drives, this was pretty amazing. 9 yards, 4 yards, and 71 yards for a field goal. 10 yards, 6 yards, 11 yards, -3 yards, and then 64 yards for a field goal.
Well, I mean, I still think Jacksonville has a good amount of talent on that roster. I mean, us only scoring 6 points is an embarrassment, but yeah, we didn't get the block punt. It sounds like what the difference was.
Exactly. They had a blocked punt touchdown and did nothing on offense after that. So, I mean, I guess it means one of two things. One, Jacksonville's defense is pretty feisty. And two, Indy's offense, which I actually thought was pretty good. I do think their offense is pretty good, but, I mean, they just basically got completely shut down last week by Jacksonville. A week after they put 45 up against the Jets. So it's just like us, except the weeks are flip-flop.
Yeah, and they gave up 30 points to the Jets somehow. Yeah, so they lost the Titans in overtime 34-31. They won at Frisco 30-18, but I don't think Garoppolo played that game. They beat Houston 31-3. They lost to Baltimore in overtime. They beat the Dolphins by 10. They lost by 9 to the Titans, 3 to the Rams, and 12 to the Seahawks. They had a tough schedule. Holy shit.
Yeah, they had a real tough schedule, especially early on. But I don't know, like everyone's afraid of Taylor, but I mean, maybe rightfully so. But like our defense, no, we haven't had. Maybe we're due for a bad game, but we had obviously the Titans game. But even if you take out the Henry 75-yard run, he didn't really run it on us. It just kind of scared our defense into. I think we were so afraid of Henry the rest of the game that A.J. Brown killed us. But like that's the only. I'm not expecting Henry to like light us up or Taylor to light us up.
Well, yeah, I mean he has that game breaking speed where once he gets open, I mean he's gone. But I mean yeah, he's had 116, 172, 70, 107, 145, 53, 103. So I mean, he's getting his yardage. I mean, just and that those two of those games were against the Titans. So well, he ran 64 and 70 against the Titans, but uh,
Yeah, so he'll probably get his yardage, but can we keep him out of the end zone? And will Carson Wentz, make a couple critical mistakes?
yeah, I mean that's one thing that he's been limiting with these last few wins. He hasn't turned the ball over as much, although the
Yeah.
drop down in opponents helps too.
Yeah, I mean, I think Wentz is a bit of a downgrade, I think, from Rivers. Going into that playoff game, you knew Rivers was going to, make smart decisions, make the right throws, not get sacked. I mean, he gets rid of the ball so fast. I think with Wentz, unless they run it like 40 times, I think we could probably get a few turnovers. And not to mention, our defense is, we're taking the ball away at a ridiculous clip right now. Hopefully that can continue, but.
Yeah, I mean Wentz only has 3 interceptions this year, but I mean
I feel like he's had some they're like some really bad ones though. Like in the end zone, throwing it up for grabs, pick six, lost while losing in the game. They lost he made a play like that against Tennessee that lost him the game. Only 3? That's crazy.
yeah, I mean he's fumbles the ball a lot. He's had 5 fumbles, although he's lost 3 fumbles. I mean, so he's had 6 turnovers. But he gets sacked not too often. I mean, he's only gotten sacked once per game in the last 4 games. I mean, they have a good offensive line, so I mean, and probably no Milano or Milano was he practiced a little bit today. Edmonds didn't practice. I don't know these linebackers. I mean, Klein looked all right last week.
Klein looked good. I thought Klein was, he looked fast out there. I thought he looked good. I think that, from what I heard going into the game, that's a more natural position for him than playing like Milano's position. And that's where he looked like terrible last year, I think, when he was playing Milano's position a couple times.
Yeah, I think they said that on the broadcast that he's.
Oh, maybe they did. I thought I heard it somewhere.
Yeah, like
but he looked good.
Yeah, for some reason he was on the screen a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I saw him on TV a lot. But yeah, I mean, the defense played well. So, and I mean, I saw Edmonds at Mulberry the night before, and he was on Thursday. He's walking around fine. I don't know what happened to him.
What's his injury?
I think it was his hamstring. He must have dropped a couple meatballs on the ground, ran after him, and slipped it on some cheese or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we need him this week, though. We need everyone. This is our biggest test this season. Every game now with New England right there is like, you can't take anything for granted. And, I don't know. I'm interested to see, too, on offense. Our personnel, what we do at running back.
We need, Breda
receiver.
Breda only played 6 snaps on offense, and he had 2 touchdowns. I mean, do we see any correlation there, or Stinger? I mean,
too, he had a terrible fumble. Like he's got, I don't know if that's like a thing with him. I mean, Singletary, it's gonna be tough to play Singletary because he's fumbling. He has 5 fumbles this season. We've recovered all of them. He's fumbling once every 20 touches. So if he...
Jesus. Hey, he has a propensity for fumbling towards us.
The odds of recovering all 5 of his fumbles is basically 0. And so next time he fumbles, which is probably going to be like this game or next game, we're probably going to lose the fumble. So, I don't know, there's a reason why. I mean, it doesn't seem like it when you watch the game, but Moss is playing the most out of all of our running backs. He did last week. So, I don't know. I mean, you got to play the guy that you can trust to hang on to the ball. And that Breida fumble, he barely got touched. And the Singletary fumble was weird, too. I mean, these guys got to protect the ball.
Yeah, I don't understand these running backs not holding on to the ball. McKenzie got, 1 touch. He scored a touchdown. I mean, it's basically they listened to the fans for a change. They actually threw the ball to Gabe Davis. Oh, what a shock. Guys just running wild in the secondary. And, I still understand why Tommy Sweeney's playing, but...
And our first 2 touchdown drives, in the third quarter, we had 1 pass play on the 2 drives. I think the 2 drives in total, only 6 plays, right? But they 5 to 6 plays or whatever it was were runs. Some to the back, some to the receivers. Didn't Manny Sanders have a run too? Dayball mixed it up. He handed the ball off. He didn't just drop Allen back 50 times and do nothing else like he did against Jacksonville. So I guess I have to give him some credit for not being like terrible, but we'll see. I mean, now you gotta be one step ahead though. So what's he gonna do this week? Is he gonna just do the same exact thing he did against the Jets? Because that probably won't work as well.
Well, I think we need to blitz the shit out of Wentz, and I think that, as long as the defense can give us a turnover or two, I don't know. I mean, Allen, he he looked pretty all right last week, so he should be at home in this game. I don't know. Weather's iffy. I don't know. A little bit of rain.
That's what I'm wondering is I'm hoping for good weather. It seems like every home game is shit this season.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Bad weather plays into their hands. Although, I mean, if Wentz has to throw, he's not the guy. He hasn't got run the ball much at all this year. So he's seemingly pretty immobile out there. I think we got to blitz this bitch and make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, our defense. Uh, he's, the way we lead the league in takeaways, so I trust those guys to dial up what they need to, and I'm hoping we can get Wentz to make some just bad mistakes, get some short fields, just get a lead, like you said. Don't let them rely on Taylor. That does make me nervous if it's a close game. They can just pound him.
Yeah, and
So
it seems like they've been using their other running back in the passing game a little more lately.
Hines,
Yeah, Naheem Hines. I mean, I don't really notice running backs out of the backfield hurting us too much with our linebackers, but
Hines had a nice touchdown run like the first drive last game, and I think he had a long run against us in the playoffs. I remember in the third quarter, again in the playoff game, we took a lead 24-10, and then the very next drive, I think it was Hines had like a 50-yard run, and like they scored so fast, just like on
yeah.
two long runs.
Well, and their tight ends made a couple of big plays against us too.
I think Pittman had some like pretty good play, pretty nice catches in the first half too. He's pretty good. He's a good player. So we are. I mean, it's our biggest test of the season probably thus far.
Well, they're not better than the Chiefs. I mean, we went.
Oh, well, the Chiefs is obviously our best win. They're good. Even when we beat the Chiefs, like their defense was terrible at the time, but coming into that game, they were like the number one offense in the league. I mean, they were scoring a ton of points, and we came in there and just like totally shut them down. So, I mean, Mahomes at that stage, I think at that stage of the season, Mahomes was they were turning the ball over, but they were still scoring like easily 30 plus coming into that game. So that was still a really good win and a great performance by our defense. So yeah, but this would be obviously our second best win.
Yeah, I mean the line's right now it's still -7. Over under's 50, which seems kind of low. Although, I mean, I think this line's going to move to 7.5. Bills -7.5 before kickoff, but I
28-21.
pretty much, yeah. I'm surprised that over under is low. They think that we're not going to score as much, or the Colts offense is going to be able to put up points, not against us, I guess.
It's hard to really expect. Yeah, I mean, they're expecting like a score of like 28-21, so it's hard to really expect a team we're playing right now, most teams, to score much more than 20 points or so. And that's what I said after the Jags games. I felt like our defense against the bad teams, they're good enough where the bad teams are going to have a tough time scoring, and like hopefully the same is true against the Saints. So it's like if we can score 24 points, 27 points in a lot of these games, even the Patriots game, like we should have a really great chance to win.
And so next week we got the Saints. How that line was 2.5 last week at Tennessee. It's just like screaming at me. Why is this line 2.5? I mean, to look ahead to the Saints a little bit. Like that team, I'm surprised they went into Tennessee and they should have tied it. They were going for a 2-point conversion to tie, and they got a false start or some bullshit.
They also had 2 missed extra points.
Saints did?
The Saints did. That's why they had to go for 2. So it's pretty lucky. I feel like that's kind of been the Titans' season this year.
Although and the Titans were up big, and they just kind of like sat there and did nothing.
Tennessee's just like mean, look at Tennessee's point differential. I know you love point differential, don't you? It's
Uh,
like plus. It's
after
like not very
yeah,
good.
after like 8 games, I like point differential. Early on, I think it could be fluky, but yeah, I mean, right now in the middle of the season, I'll look at that stat.
Yeah, the Titans point differential. I think it's like plus 40. And they're 8-2. The Ravens are 6-3. It's like plus 13.
Yeah,
So
it's just such a
how is
weird.
that? I don't know what that means, but like I don't know. Our point differential is like the best in the league, like by a ton. Our point differential. It's like we played these bad teams. We've killed most of them, except the one we lost. Does that mean we're like that good, or because I know like the stat nerds love point differential.
Yeah, well, and now people are Dolphins are going to start rattling off wins. Well, I mean, everyone ripped on the Bills for.
Hopefully,
Well, yeah, but everyone ripped on. Oh, the Bills should beat the Dolphins twice, and now I mean, people are picking the Dolphins to start rattling off wins and get back in the playoff hunt. I mean, it can't be both. I think it's just this conference is just weird. The AFC North is crazy. All four of those teams. AFC West is not nearly as good as everyone thought that it was after September.
the
And
AFC North and AFC West have 8 teams that are just all like the same.
yeah, and they all play each other
Yeah, they're all
coincidentally.
like. I think Baltimore is 6-3, Kansas City 6-4. Everyone else is like 5-4,
There's
five
gonna
three and one, 4-5. It's just like
there's gonna be
yeah,
like
they all play each other.
there's gonna be like eight
So
teams that are 9-8 or 8-9. It seems like unless like the Raiders fall apart, which is
so
likely.
I guess it's a good thing from making the playoff standpoint. If we're worried about that, worst case scenario, sky is falling. Like how many wins do the Bills need to get? Like 10 wins. 10 wins, you're feeling pretty good, right? Like you're going to be in.
Yeah, I
So this is kind of where my head's at. I if we can't get the 1 seed, and Tennessee's schedule is easy, so we have to. I almost feel like we have to win out to get the 1 seed. Not saying it's impossible, but they'd have to lose 2 more games, and we'd have to win out. And their schedule is a joke the rest of the way. So if they
I
could lose 3 more games, who knows?
at this point
But
I'm not concentrating on the 1 seed at all. I mean,
well, but if you don't get the 1 seed, how much do you care about like? I don't care about winning the division as much as I care about like who we're going to play in the first round. Like, because the home field
because you
advantage.
don't
I mean,
go
I
to the
guess if you want to
games.
like go to the game, you care. But like
Yeah,
the home field advantage thing, there like is none. And even for the Bills, I feel like I don't feel like we have a better chance to win at home than we do on the road. And I feel like crap weather is a disadvantage for us. So
well, yeah, I mean that's true. I just I'm just looking
not
at
like yeah, like the thing that obviously I still would want to win the East, but like I don't think it's the end of the world if we like don't, and
Jesus Christ.
then we have to
Wow.
play. I don't know.
I they have to win the division. I mean, I see what you're saying, the overall grand scheme of things, but you're gonna win. If the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, yeah, I know the road team, road home record is road teams has a better record right now, which still it's only half a season. I mean, who knows?
But
Maybe
if you go back to last year too,
well, last year doesn't. I don't care about last year, but this year maybe Houston's played 5 home games, and so have the Dolphins, and
yeah.
so have the Jets. I don't know. I mean, it could still change with the weather and November, December. That's when I think it matters more. But
I'm not. I don't know. Let me clear up. Let me clear up. I want to win the East, 100%. But I think if we, most importantly, it's getting. You know, I don't think our chances if we don't have the bye. I'm not as concerned about like home versus road. I want the bye. I want the bye. It sucks so bad that like now we're good and there's no 2 seed bye. It's
yeah,
like just the worst.
right when that happened. Yeah, so I mean, looking at it that way, say we're not the 1 or 2 seed, but we still win the division. I don't think it's possible. Like we wouldn't be the two. We'd have to be the 2 seed. I don't think the AFC, unless Baltimore rattles off a bunch of
Yeah,
wins.
no, I think you're right. If we win the East, I think we're going to be the 2 seed at worst.
So then you're talking about the Patriots being the 2 seed. Like, just give me some rat poison and dig a shallow grave for me in my backyard. Like, I can't handle it.
I mean, maybe it's because of what we've gone. What we've gone through with them over the past 20 years, but I don't know, man.
Maybe.
I'm, I'm just, I can't believe that. I just can't. I mean, I look at the roster. I mean, I know Belichick, greatest coach of all time, whatever. Maybe he's proving it this season, but
Well,
I
their
don't know.
defense is their
When you get
defense is
late in the
good.
season and you can run the ball and play defense, you're going to be very tough to beat.
Yes.
Even if you don't have the talent, like you have way more talent.
Well, not the O line. I mean, their offensive line. They have a couple of high draft picks on their O line, but they play at Atlanta, Tennessee at home, at Buffalo. They have a bye week in Week 14, which is weird. Then at Colts, Buffalo, and then they have Jacksonville and at Miami the last week of the year. I mean, that is a house of horrors for the Patriots. I mean, if we're talking about it realistically, and if the Dolphins, I mean, if Tua's still playing, they're not going to. I mean, Flores, they're going to want to win that game.
They're yeah. I mean, they beat him in the last game of the season to ruin them from having a bye 2 years ago. That schedule doesn't sound very. I mean, they got us twice. I mean, if you consider us, yeah, they got us twice. They got Indy, Tennessee. I mean, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough.
It just comes down to us. I mean, the Bills just win on Monday night and just win the Monday night game.
We get swept by them. Heads need to roll.
um,
That would be inexcusable. I don't care if you win every other game this season. I mean, we would be 12-5. We probably would still win the. If they sweep us, they're probably going 12-5.
Yeah, they'd have the
We cannot
tiebreaker.
get swept by it. We cannot get swept by it. We just.
Mac Jones beats our defense, and that defense is a fraud. I don't know.
I mean, it's probably going to be like a 20-17 game.
If we get up 14 points, though, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we got to concentrate. I mean, at least the team
concentrates. Because if we win the next two, we're 8-3. They win the next two, they're what are they? 8-4. Oh my God, that's going to be a big game. It's gonna feel bigger than the playoff games last year. I don't know why.
Definitely. It definitely will.
Not the Colts game. I felt like that Colts game. I was so nervous for that one. I felt like that was one they had to
win. Yeah, I was pretty nervous. Well, because they
and
were.
Then if they lost, if they went to the playoffs 13-3 and then didn't win a playoff game, that would have been like a disappointment. But after they won the playoff game, I felt like
there was a relief. I mean, even going to the game, it was like. It felt like a freebie, but I mean, it was just such a weird.
The Baltimore game, it was like, it was. I didn't feel like the season could be considered a disappointment at all after we beat Indy. But I don't know. I mean, this would be the biggest regular season game. I mean, who do we play? So we play. Oh my God! So we play at New England. Or no, we play New England on Monday night, then at Tampa, and then New England again.
I think there's a Carolinas in there first.
Yeah, pull up the schedule. That would suck. I hope we have Carolina in there.
So New England Monday night, at Tampa, Carolina at home, and then the day after Christmas, so Boxing Day, we play at the Patriots. I mean, there's no way that game's going to be at 1 o'clock. That game's going to get flexed, at least to 4.
All right, so we have Carolina after. Okay, so I was going to say that's a brutal stretch, but we have Carolina in between there. So we still have. Basically, we have Indy, New Orleans, Carolina, Atlanta, and the Jets, right?
Yeah.
So those 5 games. There's no reason for them not to go 4-1 in those 5. I mean, if we lose any of those, then it's going to be disappointing. Indy's pretty good, and New Orleans, you never know. They should go 4-1.
Yeah, they should go 4-1.
Wins.
Yeah.
10 wins there. Then you get.
I mean, Tom Brady.
I don't know, and I don't feel like.
I wouldn't.
Feel like we match up pretty well versus them.
Well, yeah, because they're real good against the run, and they. I don't, but they're so weird.
Decimated.
They're such a weird team. I mean, they dominate and then they look like shit. They lose. They're kind of like the Bills, but I don't know. What's your prediction for this Colts game?
I think we're gonna beat them 31-21.
I think it's gonna be high scoring. I'll say I I could see them getting like a late touchdown to make it closer than it really is, like 34-28. But I think I'm going to.
34-28. So you think we'll be comfortably up and they'll get a garbage timer?
Yeah, they'll get some garbage to cover, backdoor, like all the chuds that bet the Bills. But I don't know.
Hopefully you're right. I need a no stress game. It took me days to recover from that Jags game. Maybe a week, maybe a full week.
Yeah, it's called 18 beers. All right, well, we'll talk to you next week.
Okay, it's gotta hope. All about my bills like Buffalo. Shit, I'm all about the bills like Thurman Thomas.
We're not making a playoff.
I don't tip, I pay bills. Bitches call me Buffalo.
We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Ian.